I have an amazing friend named Paul. He's polite, chivalrous, the kind of guy who would give you $50 and not care if you pay him back. In general, he's just a really nice guy. He's even training to be a paramedic, which of course is a big hit with the ladies. Paul, myself, and a few friends have been planning this camping trip for months. We get all our equipment, get everything set up, times, locations, carpooling, basically everything. Then Paul says he can't go because it falls on his little brother's birthday. Honestly, none of us even knew he had a little brother. We tell him we can all go and visit his brother with him. Paul says, "Thanks, but it's just going to be a little get-together, nothing too special. You guys will be bored. It's fine, I swear, just go on the trip without me." Eventually, we all get the idea to follow him and surprise him with a party. Some of the girls in the group are the every situation needs a party planner type. This turns out not to be the smartest idea of ours. We pack the car with everything we'll need, except beer. Paul doesn't drink. We get up super early and begin to follow Paul to his town. The whole time we're joking around about how we're undercover. Suddenly, Paul drives into a cemetery. We all let out a collective, "Oh no, 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 no," hoping that maybe he's just taking a shortcut. Sadly, he wasn't. We watch from our car as he gets out a litre of soda and a package of cupcakes. Paul begins to walk over to a headstone, putting a cupcake on the top with a lit candle in it, and a cup of soda. He pulls out 2 chairs, one for him to sit in, and the other to, well, talk to. An hour or so later, the candle is almost burnt out and the food is gone. He begins to pack up his stuff, but not before setting a little present on top next to the cupcake. As soon as he places it, he kneels down and starts to cry for about 15 minutes. Paul is not the type to cry about anything. He eventually stops, collects his items, and proceeds to leave. None of us talked on the ride back. A few days pass and I see Paul. I immediately ask him about the party. Paul says, "Oh, it was fun. I got him a new stack of baseball cards. Can you believe kids still like those? I guess he'll always be 12. Turns out, a drunk driver killed his brother when Paul was only 15. It was the day after I failed to get into the college I wanted, and I was feeling rather bummed out, sitting around in my room. My grandpa picked up on that, and decided he would do like he always did when I was a kid, buy me a video game to cheer me up. And he spotted the Sonic Team logo. Unfortunately, my grandpa got me this, because he wasn't aware how Sega had declined in quality as of late. I replied with a half-hearted smile, because a part of me was happy that he did it for me, and the other side of me, the gamer side, was not so pleased. He knew he made a mistake too, since I wasn't as ecstatic as I was when I was a kid. Or perhaps he thought, as an adult, I was expressing my happiness in a more mature way. I will never know. Before I got around to lying to make him feel better about purchasing the game, he ended up dying the 3rd day after giving me the gift. It was sudden, shocking me in my sleep when my grandmother found him. Her screams and frantic waking of me still so very fresh in my mind. After the burial, I found this game in my room, unwrapped and untouched since first getting it. I picked it up, sympathetically, as if it were a friend I had wronged. With care, I unwrapped it, and a childish smile came over my face. I placed it in my GameCube and played through it all in an ambient light suiting the childish nature of the game, but the childish nature of the game suiting the last gift of my grandfather and my transition to adulthood. I still have this game, and I cherish this more than any other GameCube game I have. A while back, I had been playing a ton of Team Fortress 2. I typically just played arena mode. One match, my whole team rushed out and died, leaving myself and a heavy as the only players. It's important to note that I was playing as a medic. I ran back to base and saw that the heavy was AFK. After a while, he came back saying, "Oh team, I am most sorry," in a voice that had sounded as if he had food stuffed in his mouth. From what I could tell, he probably had some sort of mental disability, since he spoke Heavy's lines. He always referred to me as Doctor. Blue team was beginning to approach, so he turned towards me for help saying, "Doctor, charge me when baby team is near. Now Doctor, hit it Doctor." Through our terrific teamwork, we took down the whole team. This led to him adding me on Steam. Every game we played together, I always go medic and he always goes heavy. He always yells the battle cry of the heavy or laughs like him. He constantly thanks me saying, "You are great, Doctor." I think he was poor since he never played any other games besides TF2. I would ask him about it and he would respond, "Doctor, money is needed. We must collect money, but money is hard now." He sounded sad, so I asked him if he had seen the Meet the Medic video. He responded with a no, so I gave him the video link. After seeing the video, he was very ecstatic and eagerly asking me about the part when the medic put the Uber on the heart. He then asked if it was possible to get a new heart with Uber. I said, "Heart transplants are possible, but without the Uber." He got sad again. "Maybe in the future." Giving me a heavy laugh, he said, "Then Doctor, Heavy will wait for future." A few weeks pass, and I receive a message from him saying, "Doctor, Heavy will not be fighting until later in the night." It wasn't until the following morning when he got on. For the record, he referenced himself as Heavy, since it's the only class he ever played, and it was in his Steam name. I get a message from him saying, "Doctor, Heavy doesn't feel well. I go to other doctors, but they are nowhere near as good as you, Doctor." He sent me this message when I was already asleep. I have no idea where he lives. The last message I received from him said the following: "Doctor, Heavy will go now, but do not fear baby men on other team. You are good, Doctor. With you, victory is always good. Heavy will join in future." By the time I read this message, he was already offline. He never came back online for a whole year. Yesterday, I saw he was online. I was so excited. I greeted him and asked why he hadn't been online for so long. Sadly, it wasn't him. It was his mom. She sent me this following message: "David, or Heavy, died of heart failure. I'm sorry. Are you the doctor he was always talking about? You're the only friend on his friends list. He was always going on about how him and the doctor were best friends and always leading the team to victory. I don't know what he was talking about, but I was happy that he was happy. Whenever he was on the computer, He always had a smile on his face, and I've never seen him happier. He always stayed strong because he wanted to be with a doctor. Thank you for always making him happy. I'm selling his computer because we were never really wealthy to begin with. If we were, he'd be here right now. I just wanted to see what was on his computer. Thank you again. I never replied to a message. I just stared at the screen for hours.